I'm Adrian Ghobrial in our nation's capital, where a police operation remains ongoing this hour. You can see behind me those blue fences. Those remain erected on side streets all around Parliament Hill. Where I'm standing right now is still cut off to members of the public. This is the intersection as well of Metcalfe and Wellington. This is the scene of the most intense police clashes. This is where protesters had a large stage set up over the 23 days of what many are calling an occupation in Ottawa. Now, for days, we've been documenting this moment in Canadian history. We've been speaking with protesters, area residents, businesses about their hopes for the days ahead. First, we bring you back to the front lines for what was an unprecedented weekend here in Ottawa. The clash in the capital began Friday with the mounted mobilization of police pushing back and allegedly trampling at least one protester. The incident now the subject of an SIU investigation.
I feel they're using excessive force.
Then came a surreal Saturday with this tense standoff on the doorstep of Canadian democracy. Since just before 10 a.m. this morning, this is what police have been doing. They've been pushing back protesters block by block. We're now right in front of Parliament, and this is more or less the last stand of the Freedom Convoy.
I'm standing in the front line. If they take me, they take me.
You can see over here we have the mounted unit as well. Police from multiple divisions. Police now asking us to step back. It looks like they're going to mobilize.
We've been very clear from the beginning, as this has escalated, what you're seeing us engaged in to ultimately remove people who are refusing to leave.
It took 23 days and one of the most intense urban policing operations in Canadian history. But as the sun rose on Sunday morning, a hush hovered over Ottawa as weary residents left their homes.
Honestly, it was so nice waking up this morning. It's so quiet.
Though the streets are now lined with barricades and police checkpoints, as small business owners wonder when customers will return.
It was one of the worst 3 weeks in my 17 years of restaurant business in Ottawa.
The so-called Freedom Convoy had multiple motives, some more threatening than others. Through the anger and frustration, there were those who simply wanted to be heard.
How does my vaccine status affect your vaccine status? It divides families. My oldest is vaccinated. She's immune compromised. It's scary for her. It divides families. The segregation of it all.
A healthy portion of the outrage from truckers and their thousands of supporters directed at Canada's elected Prime Minister.
In a democracy, you can protest, you can share your opinion at the top of your lungs, but you can't hold a city hostage. You can't block a critical trade corridor and deprive people of their jobs. You can't attack journalists for reporting, which is essential to our democracy.
While most of the protesters have left the downtown core, things are still far from normal here in our nation's capital. Though some signs for area residents to be optimistic today, the Rideau Centre reopening. Police checkpoints are also coming down at some key intersections, though the operation here with officers from across the province and even parts of the country still remains in play. Now, what will happen in the days ahead remains to be seen. Concerns that some protesters and trucks are parked just outside the city, gathering on some private property. What that means here in Ottawa or in the surrounding area remains to be seen. I'm Adrian Ghobrial for City News.